We are live. Hello, it is Direct Mail Monday, June 24th, 2019, the 24th. It is indeed Steve Sipress here on Direct Mail Monday. And today's piece we're going to dive into is this piece. Now, of course, for privacy protections, I crossed out the address, but otherwise, you see it's addressed to the Sipress family and no return address. And as you can also see, as usual, we will delve into this piece together. We will see it together for the first time. I will open it up on the fly, flying solo without a net, and all that kind of stuff. Your guess is as good as mine what is in here. This is an example of what's called in the direct mail industry as sneak up mail. Now, before I get started, I almost forgot. I get calls all the time, perhaps more about direct mail than any other. People tell me that the Direct Mail Monday videos are the most entertaining, possibly because I'm using real live examples of stuff, whereas for the rest of the week, usually my videos are simply me talking to the camera and I'm explaining concepts, but you don't see the physical example to go along with it. But on Direct Mail Mondays, I share examples, and usually there's some, as I can already surmise and guess about this one, there's going to be some comedy involved, because already I'm about to explain how this is really poorly done. And maybe you aficionados out there who follow along with my video can already see some of the ways that this is just massively, incorrectly, wrongly, poorly done. However, I will also share, of course, how to do it right. And so if you are the person who sent this, you're in for a treat, free consultation. And that's my point. You can always go to helpfromsteve.com and get your own free consultation on direct mail or any other subject you want. Any day, you go to helpfromsteve.com. The question I get asked most about direct mail is people say, look, Steve, I know that direct mail works. I know I can make big money with it, but people are just afraid. They're just unsure of where to start. They're just confused about the whole thing. I mean, sending an email, that's pretty simple. Calling up and placing an ad somewhere. In the good old days, you placed an ad in the newspaper or in a Valpak or in a Sunday, flyer in a newspaper, or you put an ad in the Yellow Page. I mean, it's real simple. They make up the ad for you. They make crappy ads, as of course you know if you watch my videos, or if you've been one of my clients or even a prospect, or if you've even done it yourself and you know that it's such a crapshoot and you're incredibly lucky to get any results at all from any of those things. So much that people think, oh, the Yellow Pages doesn't work anymore. Direct mail, that's old stuff. I want to go on the internet. That's where everyone's looking. Like, really? So you think people aren't looking in their mailbox anymore? Like, oh, since I have the internet, guess what? I never open my mailbox. I don't even look at it. Like, come on, folks, get a clue. Businesses that know what they're doing, my clients, people that even aren't my clients that know what they're doing with advertising and marketing and making a killing in whatever you think are old dog dinosaurs like Yellow Pages and radio and TV and newspapers, magazines. I mean, there's a reason all those things still exist. It's because there are billions of dollars in advertising money coming into them. So you might want to get your share. And if you're confused about how to do that, I understand. Direct mail is not as easy. If you haven't done it before, you don't have an expert helping you like me, it's a lot more complex than sending out an email or putting a post on social media or silly things like that, or going to a networking meeting and thinking that's your key to riches. Like direct mail, all the biggest companies use it, of course. Even the, quote, internet companies, Google, would be nowhere without direct mail. I don't know if you've ever gotten direct mail pieces from Google, but they make billions of dollars from direct mail, of course. Irony of ironies, the people who don't understand marketing, but people at Google, they didn't get to become one of the largest companies in the world by not understanding advertising and marketing. So, of course, they use direct mail. But what's that got to do with you, the local or the small business owner? Well, all the smart small business owners, the most successful ones anyway, all use direct mail, of course. Local direct mail is one of the best ways to make money and one of the easiest. But if you need or you want help from that, I'm here to give you help. I'm not going to stay on the phone all day with you at no charge. I charge my consulting in case you think I have fun with it, but in case you think I don't also make money from it, that's just kind of silly. But I do give a free strategy session. You go to helpfromsteve.com, and at least we'll get some of the basics out of the way, and then you can find somebody to help you, or you can, I could direct you to some books to read or some courses or some videos or whatever it is, and you can give it a shot, and you can report back to me on the results or whatever you want. Or you could ask me through that call if it seems like maybe I might, your situation is interesting and fun enough that I might want to work with you some more. We can talk about that. But anyway, by all means, don't just watch these videos. Go to helpfromsteve.com with any questions you have about it. Get some free help. Okay, that being said, let's get right into it. So why is this called sneak up mail? Because we don't know who it's from. It's sneaking up. And the idea, however, it's really poorly done, because the idea of sneak up mail is to make it appear as if this is some personal piece of mail, because this doesn't really sneak up at all. This screams direct mail, junk mail, business mail, whatever you want to call it. A lot of people call it junk mail. I have a feeling that by the end of this video, we too will term this junk mail, because, hopefully it's making money for the company. And I don't root against any business, of course, making money. But if it is, and I hope it is, by all means, you'll probably be making 5 or 10 times as much if you did it right. So you can see they're using a handwritten font, but it is not actually handwritten. It is a font. It is printed on there. So number one fail of the attempt at sneaking up and making look like it's personal is, we're making it look like it's personal because we're using a handwriting font, but it's very clearly not handwriting. It's very clearly a printed on font. One clue is you can look at repeated letters. So my name, I have those 2 S's right there, and those 2 S's are identical. The 2 I's are identical. Who dots the I's exactly right over the I both times? Exactly. Oh, it's a little off to the side. Both times exactly the same. Like, come on now. How about the E? Both of these E's exactly the same. As if you couldn't just tell. And besides, look how tiny it is. Nobody writes that small. Where's my handwriting? Here's a bunch of people's handwriting. One of the pages of a sign-in form that people in an event I did last week. They're writing this big. They're not writing that small there. Come on, people don't write that small. Anyway, so fail number 1. Fail number 2, you've got the ridiculous computer auto computer barcode printout here. Clearly, this is not a piece of personal mail from somebody's grandmother or mom or aunt or friend or anything. Come on now. And third of all, it doesn't have a live, real stamp. It's got it is it's an actual stamp. It's not an edition. It's not a print, but it's a bulk mail stamp. It's not a hand placed on there stamp. It's a long piece like you get in the post office, twice the length of an actual stamp, and it's going to say right on it, mailer's postmark permit number 66. So what personal non-business mail has a mailer's postmark permit number 66? And of course says right below the stamp that it is, can you see that? It's in light blue, tough to see, pre-sorted standard. This is a special postage. It's first class, but it costs less than a first class stamp that you or I would use to put on a personal piece of mail. And so they save money. Hopefully you don't make business decisions when you're doing your advertising marketing. That's mistake number 1, based on the cost and the money involved. We talked about that in the beginning. People are afraid to use direct mail because of the cost. Like, sharp business owners don't look at the cost. Sharp people, even if you don't own a business, you don't look at the cost of things. You look at the result. If a stockbroker called you that you trust and and said, man, or you got some inside information on your friend who owns a business, it's about to go public, or it is already public and some big thing's going to happen, and you say, man, the stock price is going to go up by like $20 tomorrow, you ought to buy some shares. Do you say, well, gee, those shares are what's the cost of nobody cares about the cost of the shares. Well, I don't know, what's Apple, Google, these 800, 400, 1,000 a share, whatever. The cost is not what it is. It's how many shares can I buy because of the dollar amount's going to go up. It's the same with direct mail or any other advertising or any other expense at all you have in your business. It's not about the expense. It's about how much money you can make from it. Come on now. So first of all, adjust your mindset properly. So to trip over the dollars to pick up pennies, or another way of saying it, to be penny wise, pound foolish, is to save a few bucks on the pre-sorted postage and therefore destroy your results. Because I'll give you a hint. We're going to open this here live as instructional, educational, here on Direct Mail Monday video. But otherwise, of course, I'm not opening this. I'm certainly not thinking, ooh, look, this might be some personal mail from my great aunt. No. Even if I did open this, I know they're going to pitch me something. It's some business related, and it's probably a crappy business, because they're just doing the whole thing crappy. At least they didn't put their return address on there. That would just completely completely. We're live here, and I'm at a loss for the word, but it would telescope, telemarket, tell us something, whatever, if anyone's here. I know I just started recording these on my business page instead of my personal page. Most people haven't gotten the hint, even though I've said it a whole bunch of times. Got to go over to my business page if you're watching this anywhere and you want to be on live and interact with me and ask questions and get your questions answered and get your help right here. You got to go over to my business page, which is facebook.com/smallbizhelp, BIZ. That's where I'm recording these live now. It's the only way to get on live. Otherwise, you got to watch the replay. And you can still type your questions into a comment, but of course, it wouldn't be the same as getting to ask live. Anyway, so you don't want to, whatever it's called, just telegraph. Telegraph, that's the term. You don't want to telegraph that this is business mail like this one's poorly done. So the font is bogus and it's too small. It's in black. They all should have put in blue anyway. And besides, you can get people real cheap. I'll give you referrals to several companies. You can just look them up, although there are some that are better than others. So again, helpfromsteve.com. I'll help you out with that. If that's all you want, I'll refer you to the right ones to use. You can pay very little money, and companies will hand address. They'll have people, stay-at-home moms, students, people who are unemployed, seniors, whatever it is, people that want to sit there, and while they listen to the radio or music or watch TV in the background or whatever, and they're hand writing out the envelopes. Sure, again, cost a few pennies more than doing it this way, but the results skyrocket 3-4 times as much, because you hear me say this all the time on Direct Mail Monday, and my clients know it very well, that it doesn't matter how much you paid the world's greatest copywriter to write the words that are on the piece of paper on the inside of this envelope, if it doesn't get opened. And when you send it like this, it ain't getting opened. So when you say, oh, direct mail doesn't work because, I had a great message or a great offer, I was giving away all kinds of free stuff. I don't believe why people didn't want all the free stuff, because they didn't even know it, because they're not opening the envelope. So even if there's some free giveaway in here, which there very likely could be, they're wondering, gee, I can't believe it. We sent it to people that ought to want that free thing. They've wanted it before, or they want something similar, and we offered something free, and they didn't take us up on it. What's going on? Because it didn't open the envelope. Envelope is done poorly. The stupid font, done poorly. The pre-sort stamp with the stamp that it's pre-sorted, the stupid barcode, all done poorly. But we're going to open it anyway and see. Hopefully the inside is better than the envelope. Fingers crossed. Oh, Rhino of the day. You see the rhinos behind me. That's from Scott Alexander's fantastic book, Rhinoceros Success. I highly recommend it. Gave away copies at a mastermind coaching day that I hosted the other day for some sharp up-and-coming successful entrepreneurs, hopefully, if they take my advice, and some were my clients who are already, of course, massively successful because they are taking my advice. And this is by one of the rhinos in my collection, my rhino letter opener that I like to use on Direct Mail Monday. Look how well that works. As if it was an actual rhino horn. Now, actually, I don't have firsthand experience how well an actual rhino horn would open a letter. Probably works better than an actual rhino horn, in fact, which would probably mangle the whole thing. But okay, let's see what we got inside. So we have one piece of paper, and it's a trifold. Oh, and so regular viewers of my videos will know, or anyone that knows anything about direct mail or anything else in advertising marketing will know right away, major fail, half of it does nothing to sell. So it's a two-sided piece of paper, and only one side is being used to sell, and the other side is being completely wasted. Don't do that. What a shame. They're using only 50% of their space. Would you pay for an ad in a newspaper or magazine and they say, well, the full page costs $20,000 and then you only use half of the page? I guess you would if you want to win an award and not sell anything like Absolute Vodka or just put Just Do It. Those things won awards, by the way. They just, that, which is pretty much the primary reason, just to give you some inside info from inside, because I worked inside advertising companies. And of course, their number one thing they love to do is win awards so that they can say how great they are and raise their fees and get more clients. But just putting Just Do It or just putting a picture of vodka won awards for Absolute and for Nike because it looks great and it's so simple and out of the box, but those things didn't make any money. They only made money because the advertisers put millions and billions of dollars behind it. So eventually, after all the amazing repetition, eventually, they could have, again, they just could have put Just Do It and they'd make money with all that money going into the advertising. So that's not what a small business owner wants to do, of course. And also, you don't want to waste half of your advertising space. So right away, another failure, there's no headline here. So there's nothing sucking me in here. There's nothing telling me I should read the rest of this. There's nothing getting my attention, telling me I should read it as if I even opened it. But there is no headline on there. Unless you call the name of their company a headline, which it pretty much is. It's the biggest thing on the page. Because, of course, as most really bad advertisers and marketers, it's all about me, 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 me. It's about themselves when it should be about me. So why is the biggest thing at the top of the page all about them? Their name, their logo, their address, their phone number. Do I care? Not yet. The only time I might possibly care is after they've let me know why I should care. So if they would start it with a headline on the top, get a free something, then if that's a free something that I would want, you better believe I'll look all over and go, now, what's the phone number to call them? Oh, look, it's down here at the bottom where it belongs. Oh, look, that's the name of the company. Okay, great. Otherwise, why do I care what the name of the company is? Good Sound Autology PLLC, whatever the heck that means. Come on. And then they have a stupid ear with a GSA in it. I'm sure they paid big money for that, and they're real proud of it, like it means nothing to me or you or anybody else. Doesn't matter at all until they can tell me something I want. And sure enough, they have absolutely buried the lead and put their irresistible offer, or their attempted and irresistible offer, in the worst possible place at the bottom. So as if I would read all this gobbledygook that's undoubtedly all about themselves, as if I care, to get down to the bottom till finally I get free hearing aid batteries. Now this is likely coming to me because my mom, who passed away about 4 years ago, and as the administrator of her estate, I had all of her mail forwarded to me, and my mom had hearing aids. So she's likely on all these lists for hearing aids, and that's why I get a bunch of mail from hearing aid companies, I'm pretty sure, because these are not hearing aids. This is my headset that I am speaking into using it as the microphone to speak in instead of the microphone in the laptop, because it sounds better to you. See what I did there? It's all about you. I'm not using this for my benefit. I'd rather have my ears not covered by this ridiculous looking contraption. But I'm doing it for you, and that's what all of your marketing and advertising and sales efforts should do. It should be all about your ideal target who. And that who, that W, is the first letter in the WOW strategy, which I created to simplify all sales, marketing, and advertising. First W stands for the who, the ideal target who. You got to know, and you got to know the wants and hopes and dreams and frustrations of your ideal target who, so you can properly attract them to you. Then the middle letter of the WOW strategy is the O, and that stands for the irresistible offer. Well, free hearing aid batteries is a good irresistible offer. I know my mom had to pay money for hearing aid batteries, but I know that what the worst thing to her was that, you know, her hands, my hands don't work. You know, her hands didn't function that well at her age. You know, she's in her 80s, and she had trouble putting these tiny little hearing aid batteries into the hearing aids. So whenever I came over, it was like, change the batteries, even if they aren't gone yet, change them now, because when they do go, she might not be able to change them. And she was always asking anyone around for help in a restaurant or anything at all. Can you put them in? You know, but it would be, instead of free, she would gladly pay if it said hearing aid batteries, revolutionary hearing aid batteries that are easy to put in, or there's some kind of hearing aid battery contraption that like sticks onto the battery and then it puts it in its place with some kind of sticky something around. Who knows what? I'm not an inventor, but I'm like, the cost was not what's important to her. So that's a fail right there of the irresistible offer. People think, oh, to make it irresistible, it's all about price. If I make it free. No, I don't shop that way. I mean, if you tried to give me a free, ask yourself, if someone said, I'll give you a free beat up 1983 Ford something or other with lots of rust, and the engine's about to go, and the windows don't roll down, the air conditioning doesn't work, and it's got a leaky the oil leaks, and whatever, but it's free. Do you want it? No! Don't drop that dilapidated piece of crap in my driveway. I'll have to pay somebody to come and tow it away. I don't want it, even if it's free. Okay, so hey, don't give me a piece of that sugary candy if I'm a diabetic. I don't want that. Or if I'm allergic to whatever. If I'm allergic to chocolate, don't give me a Hershey chocolate candy bar. I don't want it, even if it's free. Free does not make it irresistible. Making it exactly what your ideal target who wants most and doesn't want least, wants to avoid most, is what makes it irresistible. That's why the WOW strategy works. You find out everything about your ideal target who, their hopes and dreams and fears and wants about your product or service, and then you offer it to them. That's irresistible. Hey, if you want to also make the price something good to them, that's good too, but big mistake when people think that's the main driving factor. So let's see what else we have here. Dear neighbor. Why would you do that? Why would you say dear neighbor when on the outside of the envelope you put my name? Sipress family. Or at least this would come in my mom's name, so why wouldn't it say Dear Lynn or Dear Marilyn? You know her name because you're cheap. And you want to print 10,000 of these up, and you don't want to use variable printing, which is how you print a different name on each one of them. No, you don't want to do that. You want to kill your results. So you print Dear Neighbor, so it's cheaper to print up 10,000 at once. Then it would be a little more expensive, a little more investment on the front end to get a heck of a lot more back on the back end if this said, Dear Mrs. Sipress. Oh, maybe this is personal to me, but it's not. It's Dear Neighbor. We're pleased to announce, we. So the first thing starts off with them, we. What do I care about what you're pleased to announce? Why would you write what you're pleased to announce? I don't care what you're pleased about. I don't care what I would be pleased about. So again, this thing is just horrible. So we won't go through the whole thing. We'll just assume the whole thing is as horrible as it seems already. Because if it starts out horrible, you think it's going to get better? Everything about this so far is just so poorly done. Again, if you are this person, or if you want to not be this person and just throw your money away, go to helpfromsteve.com and I'll help you out. Because you might not know. You might have gotten this piece, opened up, and said, wow, I want to do something just like this. You need to go to helpfromsteve.com. I don't often like to tell entrepreneurs what you need to do, but man, please don't throw your money away by copying crap. If you want to know if something is good or bad before you start modeling and copying it and basing your stuff on it, at least go to helpfromsteve.com and let me help you out. I will let you know, as I do on these and every one of my daily live videos when I use an example, I let you know when I got something good. That's something you want to model. This is not. We are pleased to announce, as if I care, that Kristen Chardin, or however you pronounce that, S-C-H-A-R-D-E-I-N, Chardin, who cares, a nationally known hearing aid expert, will be in our office. So we are announcing our office, June 10, 11, 12, what's today? No, it's 2 weeks ago. I mean, this piece is sitting here for a couple of weeks, waiting for a direct mail Monday to show it. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. During this special event, we will be offering the following free services. Okay, so here we go. 1, electronic hearing screening by our licensed audiologist. So wait a minute. Okay, so Kristen Chardin is not going to do the screening. Your licensed audiologist will do it. Okay. Number 2, complete otoscopic exam. Your problem may just be wax. And 3, introducing Livio AI, a revolutionary multi-purpose hearing aid designed to deliver blah, 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 blah. And number 4, if you currently have hearing aids, we'll clean them at no charge. What has this possibly got to do with Kristen Chardin, the nationally known hearing aid expert? She's not doing the screening. Is she doing the exam? I don't know. And, I can guess already, she's introducing the hearing aid, which means selling. She's going to be selling me the hearing aid for free. Wow, a free service. I'm going to get sold hearing aids by a nationally known hearing aid expert, otherwise a nationally known, or not even nationally, just nationally known because you're mailing these letters all over the country, hearing aid expert, hearing aid selling expert. Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention another telltale sign. Can you see inside the postage mark here where it says mailed from zip code something in Florida? Oops. 33100. I've got clients in Florida. I had business in Florida, a couple of businesses years ago. So I know 333 is Florida somewhere. So it's mailed from Florida. Telltale sign that it's not locally mailed or by my family or whatever. It's just really poorly done. So that's how she's nationally known, because they're mailing this stuff from Florida all over the country likely. So the fact that she's a nationally known hearing aid expert, at least that's smartly done. They're calling her a nationally known hearing aid expert when really almost undoubtedly she is a nationally known hearing aid saleswoman. But of course, every business owner, we're all in sales, and we all should be an expert in our product or service if we're going to be selling it, or people are going to be buying it, we're going to be explaining it. So very smart. Not to say she's a nationally known hearing aid salesperson. She's just a hearing aid expert, and she's going to introduce, in other words, sell me this hearing aid, and then they'll clean them. So she's not going to clean them. She's not going to do the hearing screening. She's not going to do the otoscopic exam, but she is going to do the sales pitch. Got it. That's exciting to me. Kristen Chardin will be here for 3 days. We're only sending this, oh, it's so bad. We're only sending this invitation to our friends, neighbors, and patients. Oh, okay, I thought it said to our friends, period, which I was like, what? But it was friends, comma, so I stand corrected. It's not that bad. We're only sending this to our friends, neighbors, and patients. Simply call us at our phone number to schedule your appointment, exclamation point. Appointments are available on a first-come, first-served basis, so that's an attempt at scarcity and urgency. First come, first serve. I might miss out if I don't act quickly. It's a poor attempt. They really could just say, you know, she's going to meet with someone for half an hour. She's there for 8 hours a day for 3 days. It's 24, 48 half hours. She'll be there. Only the first 48 people can meet with her. Everyone else loses. You could just say there's only 48 available appointments. And that would be the scarcity, that there's only 48 of them. Instead, they use the urgency and the implied scarcity. There's first come, first serve only, and it's only for 3 days. So the scarcity is 3 days, but they're making me figure out how few appointments that is. And then they're telling me the urgency is only it's first come, first serve. It's really poor urgency. And there's no cost for these services. There shouldn't be any. Should there be any cost for a hearing aid, a hearing screening, for an otoscopic exam, for somebody who's likely to buy, who already owns hearing aids and might buy a new one? Should there be any cost for cleaning hearing aids if you want to sell me new ones? Of course not. So I'm not surprised there's no cost for these services. I can't imagine my current doctor, if I had hearing aids, would charge me. If I said, hey, I think I might need new hearing aids, well, you know, we're going to charge you to clean your, that would just be terrible. I'll go somewhere else. But anyway, Yours for Better Hearing, and the two names of these people, AUD, Good Sound Audiology. And so there's the photo of Christian. Now, smart. Show me your photos. When I go in there and I see her, I go, wow, that's actually you. Yeah, that's me right here in the flesh. Of course, you're a salesperson. They flew you in. And then I also get up to 40% off the MSRP, the manufacturer suggested retail price, on any new pair of Starkey digital hearing aids. Limited to what? Limited discount offer. Limited what? I guess it's limited because it expires. But it's not limited in number. How many are available? Or anyway, this thing is just so poorly done. I'm tired of it already. But anyway, so very poor example of sneak up mail trying to seem like it's something personal. It did not. No headline on it. No irresistible offer screamed at me right at the top. I mean, why, with all this nonsense of their name and address that nobody cares about, how about free hearing aid batteries, or free otoscopic exam, or free electronic hearing screening, or free hearing aid cleaning, or all four? Free hearing screening, otoscopic exam, hearing aid cleaning, and hearing aid batteries. Now, if you screamed all that out in the headline, pretty sure that my mom or somebody that has hearing aids is going to read on to go, wow, that all sounds like good stuff. How do I get it? What do I got to do? Blah, blah, blah. Then you can start talking about yourself. And finally, at the bottom, if I care enough, you can finally at the bottom tell me where you are and your phone number and what the name of the company is. I still don't care about the name of the company. I don't even really care about her, except your weak attempt at celebritizing her as if she's really some national expert I should care about. Oh, and now I see the brand name Starkey. No wonder they got the brand name Starkey over here, because they're likely, see, here's the most likely thing here is they got co-op dollars. That the Starkey company said, here's the deal. We will pay for X% of this mailing, but you mail out our crappy letter that talks all about us and has our logo there, and we send out our salesperson, because we don't trust you and your regular salespeople or yourself or your audiologist there. We're going to send out a salesperson, and we're going to come try and sell some of these hearing aids. You want to do that, and maybe you have to pay the company some money to do that, and pay her expenses, and give them a nice percentage of the sales, or they make profit on them anyway. Who knows what it all is, but this is just really poorly done. And so the lesson learned is don't do that. Do some of the stuff I suggested instead. And most of all, by the way, that's already been filed in the circular file there, where it would have been, as I said, if it weren't for this Direct Mail Monday educational video, would have gone right there in the first place, because it was obviously a piece of crap. And I just wonder how few people are opening the thing anyway. Anyway, that'll do it for Direct Mail Monday. As always, go to helpfromsteve.com. There's so much more to this stuff than just meets the eye that I ever share on these scratching the surface free Facebook Live videos that I record. There's so much more to it, and I hate to see business owners throw their money away, whether it's online or offline advertising of any kind. You can go to stevecypress.com and you can take the advertising quiz. That'll help you out. But you can go right to helpfromsteve.com. We'll get on the phone and I'll answer your questions and help you out and probably tell you some things that you didn't even think of asking. And I'll help you not waste money on your advertising, marketing, sales. And I'll help you make it much more effective, both time and money. Some people don't spend money on advertising, sales, and marketing. They just waste a lot of time going to networking events or doing, public appearances or, cold calling, all kinds of stuff that doesn't cost any money. But it wastes all your time. What are you doing? Okay, do some smart advertising, marketing, and sales systems instead and make some money, and you have a lot better things to do with your time than all this free but ineffective crap that you're doing. So now, if that free stuff is working for you, that's great too. Then when you do some really effective stuff, heck, that's just an added bonus. Not to mention there'll come a time, usually very quickly, where they'll say, holy moly, no more of that time-consuming, going to events and cold calling, all that kind of stuff I was doing. What the heck? Now I got more time to, just go take a dip in the pool, go be with my family, or write another book, or create another product or service, or open another location, or do something else that really you want to do instead of chasing around doing ineffective things to gain clients, customers, patients, members, whatever it is to you. So that's it for Direct Mail Monday. Hope you enjoyed it. I don't see any questions, comments, concerns. Thanks everyone watching wherever you're watching it. And of course, as always, go to helpfromsteve.com. I will save you money by not having you throw it away on ineffective stuff, and I'll help make you money by helping you to do effective stuff. What could be better than that? Okay, that'll do it. I'll be back tomorrow on Topical Tuesday. That's the day every week that I delve into a topical issue, something to do with what's on people's minds in the news or a holiday or something that's happening, and I'll talk about that topical topic that's on people's mind, and I'll teach a business lesson from it. So I hope you'll join me again tomorrow. Over and out for today. I got to click this twice. Bye-bye.